Measures taken to encourage self-employment in Uganda. Here we are. I want first of all to clarify on something very small here. They may ask a question examining the measures taken to encourage self-employment in your country. And of course, when they say in your country, you automatically know that they are meaning Uganda. So, and previously we said when we are answering questions requiring measures, we normally begin with by or through. And everybody knows that we begin with by or through. But for this case, the name of the country, the name of a place where we want to encourage self-employment is mentioned. For this matter, when the country is mentioned, we discourage beginning. In fact, don't discourage, we avoid using beginning by or through. What we do, we apply present continuous tense by adding there ing. I think that is present continuous tense. Those people who studied English properly, they know it better. For example, now when we look at liberal, we add there ing. Liberalize to liberalizing. Encourage to encouraging. Set to setting. Advance to advancing. We avoid beginning with the word through advancing, by giving, by promoting, by sensitizing, through recognizing. We avoid that because we are looking at it in Uganda. For this matter, what should we do in our country, Uganda, to ensure that self-employment has been encouraged? For information, we said you cannot meet a question that the measures taken to encourage paid employment, because we as entrepreneurs, we discourage paid employment as it does not add to GDP, the country's gross domestic product. It does not encourage production activities. It does not teach people how to look at produce goods or services that can be exported to other countries, and we gain what we call the foreign exchange. And when we produce more than when we export than we import, we try to curb down the rate of inflation, because you know it very well that if you don't have what you are selling, but every time you want to buy, it means the person from whom you are buying will always overcharge you. When that person overcharges you, you also hiken the price because you want to get back the money that you invested when you were securing those goods from those countries. So for us in the end, we are saying that we are encouraging self-employment because we want to increase on the production activities, and we get what we are putting on the table to sell than looking for what to buy. So I have told you when the place in which the encouragement is taking place is mentioned in, we avoid by through, though we know that when we are giving measures, in most cases we begin our point with by or through. But I've told you reasons why we discourage the beginning of our point with by or through. So our first point is that liberalizing economy, and we said that we strengthen the private sector. Why are we strengthening the private sector? Because it is through the private sector that production of goods or services is made. The government parastatals are a few, and the government does not involve in producing in most cases, but it encourages people to produce. Like for example, when you come to Uganda, we produce coffee. We are known as the exporters of coffee to other countries. But if I may pose a question, have you ever seen any government plantation? It is not there. But Uganda is known as a country that produces coffee and maize, but the government does not produce any. That's why we are saying that if we are to liberalize, if we are to encourage the private sector, it means indirectly we shall be encouraging production of goods or services. As I've told you, that production of goods and services in most cases is done by the private sector. So when we liberalize, when we encourage the private sector to come into business, it means we are adding own the goods that are produced. All the factories in Uganda are owned by the private individuals. And for that matter, the country gets prestige. The country is known for producing something, and yet it is not the government that produces it. But because it is being produced in Uganda, they say it is made in where? In Uganda, though the government may not be having a hand, may not have put in a hand. So we need to strengthen the economy, and that is to liberalize the economy by strengthening the private sector in order to encourage employment, to have our long-term jobs, to have our long-term secured jobs, in order to see and realize our positive way of living. Number 2, we are looking at encouraging practical and vocational subjects in schools. Yes, encouraging practical and vocational subjects in schools. For example, encouraging all people to study entrepreneurship, where we are looking at self-employment. There is no any subject that you find the people talking about self-employment apart from entrepreneurship. And for this matter, therefore, when learners study entrepreneurship education, they will know the values of self-employment. You never know. They can move outside there and try to be creative after scanning the environment, because they'll be having reasons why they should take up self-employment. So these vocational subjects, look at job creation. Even you can have another vocational subject like agriculture, which can teach people how to rear animals, how to grow different crops, and even look after them so that they can come up with better yields, which can be commercial, and they can use the finances, which Uganda government can also benefit from when it comes to tax these activities. So vocational subjects in secondary schools need to be encouraged. For example, entrepreneurship education, which will encourage people to be job creators other than job seekers. Then when we go to another point, we are looking at encouraging talent development so as to set up self-help projects. Talent development. What is this? For example, you may teach people how to weave baskets, how to make pots, how to weave mats, how to make artificial balls, how to make table mats, how you understand. So all these can be brought in the form of talent development. You are looking for someone, what someone can do, what someone was born with. But when you keep quiet and you don't talk about such a thing like self-employment, it means someone will not know the talent he or she possesses. So it is good for us to come in and encourage talent development so as to set up self-help project. These projects that can be able to help different individuals when they start coming up with these projects. And of course, when these projects have come up, automatically we say that these people will benefit much from them, as they will get finances, money from selling of these output, like the craft seed, the mat seed, the table mat seed, the papyrus mat seed, and all those which are made from such. So another point, we are looking at advancing soft loans to self-employed persons, and of course we are here we have a side to self-employed persons. Yes, advancing soft loans. Soft loans come in the form of short-term loans which are payable within a year, and when you advance these soft loans to self-employed persons, it means you are giving them more capital. You are giving them more capital to employ into their business and to increase on productivity. And after increasing on the productivity, we realize an increase in output. When output increases, we see that even income has increased. When income increases, the project enlarges. When the project enlarges, everything becomes bigger, and even what the enterprise to earn will always be much more. So we need to advance soft loans, and today technology has made it simpler. Even from you can get an app and you apply for a loan, they give you the loan, you invest in the business, even when they don't know you. Even when you go to banks, these self-employed people get loans at a reduced interest rate, because even the government of Uganda reduced the bank rate. That's the rate at which commercial banks get loans from the central bank. When the central bank is advancing loans to commercial banks, the interest rate which is charged, the one we call a bank rate, is reduced. And this one forces the commercial banks also to reduce the interest rate, which encourages people to come and secure loans to invest into their projects in order to realize a greater output, which will result into increased income. So let's go for self-employment, and of course, if we go for self-employment, everything shall be fine. Then giving tax holidays to self-employed people. And we know very well, members, ladies and gentlemen, that every business person is levied a tax, has to pay tax. But when the government understands that it wants to encourage self-employment, it can come up with a tax holiday. A tax holiday means giving a self-employed person a period within which he or she will not pay a tax. A period that a self-employed person will not pay a tax. That is maybe a year or 2 years. And of course it means that the money that would be used to pay tax is now going to be reinvested. Is now going to be plowed back into the business, which will make sure that the business has enlarged. And for that matter, we realize also greater output, and subsequently higher incomes are going to be earned. So when you promote holiday, when we give tax holidays, it means now people are getting capital indirectly. So without wasting time, we're looking at another point, which is promoting security in the economy to provide a conducive environment for investment. This one has been done in Uganda properly. So there is no cause for an alarm. Everybody is aware of this, that we are security-wise we are okay, and therefore when we find out that security-wise we are okay, what are we waiting for? So let's go for self-employment. Then sensitizing the masses about the benefits of self-employment. Sensitizing masses, telling people, advocating for self-employment by telling people about the benefits. Call people, talk to them, tell them that self-employment is good. Let them know that without self-employment, there is nothing that can benefit someone. Let the mass be aware that with self-employment, everything is possible. Otherwise, if they don't know reasons why they should go for self-employment, if they don't know how they can benefit and what they can benefit from self-employment, automatically they cannot go for self-employment. Let's talk to the mass. Begin with your brother, begin with your sister, begin with your child, begin with your your mother, begin with your father, begin with your daughter and your son. Let's sensitize the masses about the benefits so that people can be encouraged to go for self-employment. Then another one is recognizing and rewarding self-employed people. This one should be done. Members, let us do this, especially the government. I'm calling upon the government, the local authorities, to come out and look for people who are self-employed and recognize them by giving them a reward, giving them a thank, so that you encourage others also to go in for self-employment. Then creating business support organization like banks. Let us have banks. This is the government. The government should support banks. Let insurance companies be given licenses to operate in different areas of the country, so that we can safeguard our businesses against risks like fire, theft, burglary, among other risks. So when we create business support organizations like banks, we shall be aware that even when it comes to a financial shortfall, we have where to run and get financial assistance. In the case of any risk occurring into the business, automatically we shall also be knowing where to run to in order to ensure and secure our business enterprises from suffering such risks. So these organizations are needed, like banks, insurance, and among others, so that those people who are self-employed do not fear anything. Then another point is training young entrepreneurs through workshops, seminars. This is self-explanatory. When you visit workshops and you are trained, you will know how to handle self-employment, your self-help projects, and of course you come up with better yields. Then encouraging formation of business organization like Uganda Manufacturers Association. This one is Uganda Manufacturers Association. They come together and see how they can manufacture. Likewise, we can also come together and form an association about maybe rearing of pigs, rearing of rabbits, not rats. Even rats can be reared because they are needed in the laboratories. Rearing of goats, rearing of ducks, rearing of turkeys, and doing business like produce. So when we go into Uganda Producers Association, for example, and we make that association, we can teach ourselves on how we can go over the produce business, and we can benefit from that, and we shall send poverty away. Then lastly but not least, ensuring economic stability to protect the resources invested in the business. In other words, this will go hand in hand with security, and we shall see that the economy is stable. And the moment the economy is stable, every business activity that will be taking place within that economy will be welcomed and will yield the best. At the end of it all, we shall see that everybody in the country, Uganda, will be able to sustain himself or herself, be able to improve on the standards of living, will be able to pay school fees for the children, and also have what to eat and what to drink. So these are some of the measures taken to encourage self-employment in Uganda. And let's have a pause. We shall meet in the next session.